Hi students, good evening. I'm going to introduce the antenna arrays, the third unit, antenna arrays, in which we are going to discuss about the array of antennas. Actually, the field radiated by a smaller linear antenna is not distributed uniformly in the direction perpendicular to the axis of the antenna. Okay, that is, in the case of a short dipole, the maximum radiation takes place in the direction right angles, that is perpendicular to the axis of the dipole, that we have seen already. But it decreases to minimum when the polar angle decreases. So this non-uniform radiation characteristics may be used for many broadcast services, not for point-to-point communication. In point-to-point communication, it is desired to have most of the energy radiated in one particular direction. That means it is desired to have greater directivity in a desired direction particularly, which is not possible with a single dipole antenna. So in order to increase the field strength, in the desired direction, we can use this array of antennas, which is nothing but a group of antennas called array of antennas, or simply antenna array. So it can be defined, antenna array can be defined as the system of linear or similar antennas. It is the system of similar antennas directed to get required high directivity in the desired direction. So it is defined as the system of similar antennas directed to get required high directivity in the desired direction. Okay, so in general, antenna array is the radiating system in which several antennas are spaced properly so as to get greater field strength at a far distance from the radiating system by combining radiations at point from all the antennas in the system. Is it clear? Antenna array is a radiating system in which several antennas are spaced properly, right? You can draw the antennas like this, which are spaced properly to get greater field strength at a far distance, either in this direction or in this direction. Okay, in any direction or in a particular direction, right, at a far distance from the radiating system, by combining radiations at point from all the antennas, by combining radiations of all these antennas at a particular point and in a particular direction. So the total field produced by the antenna array at a far distance is the vector sum of the fields produced by individual antennas of the array. So it is the vector sum of the field produced by individual antennas of the array. So individual element of the array is generally called as antenna element, right? It is element of antenna array. Individual element is called as element of an antenna array. So the antenna array is said to be linear if the elements of the antenna array are equally spaced. Linear array means if the elements of the antenna array are equally spaced along a straight line. Okay, and the linear array antenna can be said to be uniform linear array if all the elements are fed with a current of equal magnitude with progressive uniform phase shift along the line, right? It is also called as uniform linear array. What it means? Uniform linear array means it is just I'll write this again. Yeah, erase it. Okay. Linear array. Uniform linear array means if the elements are fed with a current equal in magnitude and a progressive phase shift. Okay. So this is a uniform linear array. So now let us see various configurations of array. There are various configurations are possible. That is, antennas can be arranged on a straight line, circle, rectangle, etc. So many configurations of arrays are possible. But practically we are going to use only a limited number of configurations. So the various forms of antenna arrays are broadside array, end fire array, collinear array, and parasitic array. Okay, these are the four forms of different configurations of antenna arrays that we are going to see in this unit. First, let us see about a broadside array, right? Broadside array which is a form of antenna array, which is a most practical forms of array. The broadside array is the array of antennas in which all the elements are placed parallel to each other, and the direction of maximum radiation is always perpendicular to the plane consisting of elements. Okay, so this is the definition of broadside array. So here antenna array, in which it is an antenna array in which all the elements are placed parallel to each other, and the direction of maximum radiation is always perpendicular to the plane consisting elements. Okay, so a typical broadside array can be drawn like this, which has elements along this x-axis. Okay, the axis of the array is along the x-axis, whereas axis of the element is along y-axis. Okay, so mostly in arrays, the lambda by 4 half-wave dipole antenna or quarter wave dipole antenna are used. So here lambda by 2. Let us consider all the elements are lambda by 2 dipole. Okay, half-wave dipole antenna. So here these are all arranged along the x-axis, horizontal axis. Okay, so this is the axis of the antenna array. Whereas this is the direction of maximum radiation. According to the definition, the maximum radiation happens in the direction perpendicular to the axis of the array. So here the antenna elements are arranged with equal spacing between the elements. So all the spacing between the elements are, let us say, D. Okay, all the elements are spaced uniformly. Let us name the antenna elements A0, A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6. Let us, okay. So a broadside array which consists of a number of identical antennas placed parallel to each other along a straight line. So this straight line is the axis of the antenna array, and this is perpendicular to the axis of individual antenna also. Thus each element is perpendicular to the axis of the antenna array, and all individual elements are spaced equally along the axis of the antenna array. The spacing between any two elements is denoted by D. All the elements are fed with currents with equal magnitude and same phase. Okay, there are different cases are available. Let us see one by one. First, let us consider all the elements are fed with currents of equal magnitude and same phase. So it produces maximum radiation, which is in the broadside direction. That means which is perpendicular to the axis of the array. So the radiation pattern for the broadside array is bidirectional, because it has two directions in which it is perpendicular to the axis of the array. So in this direction, right, it has maximum in this direction as well as in this direction. So the radiation pattern will be bidirectional one. Radiation pattern is a bidirectional one. Thus we can define this array as broadside array. Since it produces maximum radiation in the broadside direction, it can be called as broadside array, which is an arrangement of antennas in which the maximum radiation is in the direction perpendicular to the axis of the array and the plane containing the elements of the array. Is it clear? This is the arrangement of broadside array. So here the elements are arranged, the individual antennas are arranged equally with equal spacing along a line, and each element is fed with a current of equal magnitude, all in same phase. So by doing so, this arrangement fires in the direction which is perpendicular to the axis of the array, that is broadside directions. Okay, so where the maximum radiations and the remaining directions will have little radiations other than this maximum radiation. So your radiation pattern will be like this. Radiation pattern will be, if your elements are arranged in this direction, that is here the axis of the array is this, right? This is the front view of the elements, right? The elements are placed like this. So here the maximum radiation direction is perpendicular to the axis of the array. So this is the maximum radiation direction. We have two main lobes in both directions, in two directions, therefore it is bidirectional. So and in other directions we have a less number of the minor lobes are available in the remaining directions. Okay, so broadside array may be defined as an arrangement in which the principal direction radiation is, you can define this as an arrangement in which the principal direction radiation is perpendicular to the array axis and in to the plane, perpendicular to the plane containing the array antenna, array elements. Okay, so this, if you have only two elements in this array, then it is called as broadside couplet. Broadside couplet is said to form with the two elements, that is isotropic radiators. Isotropic radiators arranged in this manner. That means with the equal amplitude, they fed with the equal amplitude and in phase. Okay. So you can have only two elements of the lambda by 2 elements, and the radiation pattern will be perpendicular to the array axis. So this is called as broadside couplet. Broadside couplet. Okay. The next type of array is N-fire array. So N-fire array is nothing but the broadside array, except that individual elements are fed in out of phase. In the N-fire array, a number of identical antennas are spaced equally along a line, and individual elements are fed with the currents of equal magnitude, but their phases varies progressively along the line in such a way that we need to make the entire arrangement substantially unidirectional. So we are providing the phases to the elements. The phase must be progressively vary. In other words, individual elements are excited in such a manner that a progressive phase difference between adjacent elements must be available. Therefore, the N-fire array may be defined as, it is an arrangement. It is an arrangement in which the principal radiation direction or direction of radiation coincides with the direction of the array axis. So here the elements are fed with equal amplitude but out of phase. The phase between the adjacent elements is out of phase. 180 degree phase difference will be there, so that it produces the maximum radiation along the direction of the array axis. So the N-fire array may be bidirectional also. So here the radiation pattern for this N-fire array will be like this. This is the radiation pattern. It is also a bidirectional radiation pattern, but the maximum radiation is along the axis of the array. If it has only two elements, then it will be called as N-fire array couplet. Okay, N-fire array couplet. Which has only two elements. Those are lambda by 2 element, and which has the maximum radiation along the axis of the array. So this is called as N-fire couplet. So here each element is fed with equal amplitude, but the phase is quadrature, in phase quadrature at a distance of lambda by 4 apart. The distance between the two elements in the N-fire couplet is lambda by 4. Okay, and they are in phase quadrature. in phase quadrature with a distance of lambda by 4 apart. So this is called as n-fire array. Okay. Next type of array is collinear array. So in the collinear array, antennas are arranged coaxially. Antennas are arranged coaxially. That means along the axis they are arranged. So their ends face the end of the another antenna. One end of the antenna faces the another end of the another antenna. So they are arranged in two ways. One is horizontally. You can arrange the antenna like this, the first one. Okay, whereas you can arrange the antenna vertically also. So in both the cases, if you arrange the antenna elements coaxially, the direction of maximum radiation will be perpendicular to the axis of the array, like a broadside array. So here the radiation pattern will be maximum radiation direction. It is also a bidirectional radiation pattern. So you can have radiation pattern like this. Here the difference between the broadside array and the collinear array is in the arrangement of antenna, as well as it provides the radiation pattern similar to the broadside array, but the radiation pattern of the collinear array has a circular symmetry with its main lobe everywhere perpendicular to the principal axis. So the radiation pattern has a circular symmetry. So that's why the collinear array is also sometimes called as broadcast. Broadcast or omnidirectional array. Omnidirectional arrays. So the gain of the collinear array is maximum when the spacing between the elements is of the order of 0.3 lambda to 0.5 lambda. The gain will be maximum if the distance between the collinear array is in terms of 0.3 lambda or 0.5 lambda. Gain will be maximum. Gain will be maximum if spacing is of the order of 0.3 lambda or 0.5 lambda. But this much space between end to end of the elements, which introduces constructional and feeding problems. Hence, the elements in collinear arrays are operated with their ends very close to each other. So the ends of the wire antennas of collinear arrays, they are joined simply by insulators. So the power gain of the collinear array does not increase in the direct proportion of number of collinear elements used. The power gain for a collinear, for example, the power gain for a collinear array of 2, 3 and 4 elements will be 1.9 dB, 3.2 dB, 4.3 dB respectively. So more than 4 elements in this array will not be used for increasing the gain, and therefore the minimum number of elements are used in this array in order to increase the directivity in a particular direction. So 2 element array in this collinear array is also called as 2 half waves in phase. Right? So I'll write the power gain, about the power gain of collinear array. Does not linearly proportional to the number of elements. Does not increase linearly with the number of elements in the array. Number of elements. For example, 2 element which produces 1.9 dB power gain, whereas 3 element which produces 3.2 dB and 4 elements which produces 4.3 dB. But more than 4 elements does not increase the gain. And 2 element array in collinear form or collinear structure, which is called as 2 half waves in phase, because they are fed with the in phase equal amplitude but the arrangement is different with respect to the broadside array. So it is called as two half wave elements which are in phase, two half waves in phase. So if you increase the length of the collinear array, it increases the directivity. Length of the array increases, which increases the directivity. But if 3 or 4 elements in collinear array are used to connect the phasing stubs between adjacent elements in order to keep currents in phase. Okay, so that's all about the collinear array. Now let us see the next type of array, parasitic array. So this type of array which has parasitic elements, that means in the array sometimes it is desirable to feed the antenna parasitically, feed the antenna of an array parasitically. That means not directly the power is applied to the element. So that is called as parasitic element. So the element which is supplied power directly from the source through transmission line is called as driven element. Driven element is nothing but the element which is supplied directly from the source. But the parasitic element which is not directly fed, instead it is derives the power from the driven element. So parasitic element obtains power solely through the electromagnetic coupling with the driven element because of its it is available near to the driven element. So from the driven element through electromagnetic radiation it drives the power. So this parasitic element may act as a reflector or it may act as a director. So here in this diagram, this is the driven element, which is a half-wave dipole antenna or monopole antenna, right? So here the half-wave dipole antenna is fed with the transmission line, through transmission line at the center. And here the parasitic element is which acts as a reflector. So the reflector is placed nearby this driven element. But this reflector which has dimension 5% greater than the driven element. 5% greater than the driven element. Okay. Whereas the driven element is 5% less than the size. In size, it is less than the reflector. So the radiation pattern for this arrangement of the parasitic element, which is lengthened than the driven element, is this is the radiation pattern, which has maximum radiation in this direction, in x-axis, because the electromagnetic waves radiated by this driven element are reflected because of this reflector, reflected back. So you will get maximum radiation in this direction. So we have seen the parasitic array with 2 elements. We can have more than 2 elements also. Multi-element arrays having number of parasitic elements are called parasitic arrays. Whether the driven element is 1 or more, right? But at least 1 driven element must be available in this parasitic array, and the parasitic elements may be more than 1 elements exist. Hence in parasitic arrays there is 1 or more parasitic elements and at least 1 driven element to introduce power in the array. So it is an array. Parasitic array is an array in which 1 or more parasitic elements and at least 1 driven element must exist in order to introduce power in the array. So here we have seen parasitic element which is shortened than the driven element. So this shortened parasitic element which acts as a director, this is called as director. So this director directs the power in the direction in which the driven element radiates the radiation. So the power is increased in this direction so that you can have the maximum radiation in the direction in which the driven element radiates. A parasitic array with a linear half-wave dipole antenna as the driven element, and one reflector and one director, more than one directors, which is called as a Yagi-Uda antenna. Yagi-Uda antenna or Yagi array. By the name of inventor, it is called as Yagi-Uda antenna. The amplitude and phase of the current induced in a parasitic element, which depends on its tuning, and that means its spacing between the parasitic element and the driven element to which it is coupled. So variation in the distance between the driven element and parasitic element, it changes the phase, relative phase, and therefore it is helps in making the radiation pattern unidirectional. So usually a distance of lambda by 4 and the phase difference of pi by 2 radiation. For example, it provides the unidirectional radiation pattern. The distance of lambda by 4 and phase difference of pi by 2 will produce a unidirectional radiation pattern. You can have bidirectional also by removing the reflector, but you need to have only unidirectional in one particular direction radiation. So a reflector is used for producing this unidirectional radiation pattern. Here the radiation pattern can be adjusted by means of number of elements used in the Yagi-Uda antenna array. So a parasitic element which is lengthened by 5% with respect to the driven element act as a reflector, okay, and which is shortened by 5% act as director. The reflector makes the radiation maximum in the perpendicular direction from parasitic element towards the driven element, right? And whereas the director helps in making the maximum radiation in the perpendicular direction from the driven element to the parasitic element. So a properly designed parasitic array can provide a large front to back ratio, and which assumes special importance when the antenna system is to be rotated in any direction. So it is of great practical use, especially at high frequencies between 100 to 1000 megahertz.